Sorry,
Okay.
may I know the? I'm sorry. Can you please stop the recording for a while, please?
Yes, Doctor.
Stop the recording first.
Oh,
Done.
oh, already started.
Oh, okay. I need to know the moderator. Who is the moderator, please?
Me myself, Iza as a panelist, fourth panelist, Bima as a second panelist, and then Zalfa Kisha Azarani as a first panelist, and Zifa as third panelist.
Sorry, the first panelist is
First panelist is Zalfa, second is
Zafa.
Bima,
Oh, Zalfa. Okay,
yeah.
Zalfa. Second,
Second is Bima,
Bima,
and then third is Nazifa,
Azifa,
and the last one is Sinatria Zahid.
Dimitria. Okay.
Okay, me myself is a moderator. May we start that?
Yeah, sure.
Besarin lagi. Okay.
Enggak, suara kamu pas
Oh ya, oke.
kelihatan yang bawah.
Okay, we already started. Okay, thank you, Data. Hello, good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to our panel discussion, which the title is "Education is a Right, Not a Privilege," which aligns with the sustainable development goals, quality education for all. So basically, education is the foundation for equality, opportunity, and growth. However, many people in Indonesia still lack of equal access to education. But today, we are joined by our four amazing panelists from different backgrounds. There's students, there are activists, and then there's education technologists, and then there are also from government, and they will help us to understand the challenges and solution around this important issue in Indonesia, especially for the quality of education in Indonesia. So, first, we welcome Miss Zalfa as our representative from the Ministry of Education and Culture, and then Bima. Bima is a student activist. He committed to equal access to education, and then Miss Nazifa. She is the director of the education for the Archipelago Foundation, focus on underdeveloped areas. And then the last one is Mr. Iza. He's an education technologist from EduTech Indonesia. So let's start our discussion. But first, Miss Zalfa, I really want to know about the government perspective. Like, how is the government working to ensure inclusive education, especially for communities in remote areas such as Papua, Nusa Tenggara Timur, and Aceh? What are your thoughts about this?
Okay, thank you, Zian, for your question. The government is continuously working to provide equitable education. Programs such as school operational assistant, teacher development to remote region, and school digitalization are ongoing. In 2023, we also started the Mobile Learning Unit initiative, where teachers travel to remote village on motorcycle to provide learning session. However, challenges like limited infrastructure and internet access remain. We are working with various partners, including the private sector and communities, to overcome these barriers.
I think that, yeah, that's I really want to know, but that's very encouraging. But what about inclusive education for students with disabilities? We could not forget about the students who have disabilities. And as a government, I really want to know your perspective about this and give us a reason and explanation about this.
That's a really good point. We have expanded our inclusive school initiative, providing training for teachers on how to support students with special needs and adapting curriculum materials into Braille and sign language format. We have also allocated special funds for accessibility improvement. Beyond infrastructure challenge, we are also dealing with the persistent issues of unequal teaching quality. Many educators assigned to remote and disadvantaged regions still lack proper pedagogical training or professional certification. As a result, students in this region often receive a lower standard of education compared to those in urban areas. This disparity continues to widen the education gap. Although teacher reform have been initiated, they have not fully addressed the root of the issues, especially in terms of teacher competency in underdeveloped region.
Yeah, I think that's a bold statement about the government already make an initiative to send the teachers to rural areas, but they have not really addressed the real problem, the main problem. They just get move along. They just send the teachers, but not really find a solution to upgrade the quality of education. Okay, thank you, Ms. Zalfa, on your thoughts as a representative of government. That's a good one. And Bima, Bima, as a student activist, you as a student, what are your thoughts about what challenges do Indonesian students still face in accessing quality education?
And we see there are many, especially for students for low income families. They of my friends have to have their parents work, like uniform, or can join online classes because they don't have a smartphone or data. On the paper, education it's alright, but the reality it still feel like a privilege for many people. Also, even cases there were students drop out because they don't see the privilege of school to their real life. Education needs to be more practical and connected to future jobs.
Okay, so basically, education needs to be more practical and connected to future jobs. That's a bold statement. I think that's a great statement about this. Yeah, I think to upgrading the quality of education, we really have to practicing the students from now on to fully understand what they're gonna do on their job, like practical and connected to what they want to do in the future. Okay, that's a good one, Bima. And Miss Nazifa, how do non-governmental organizations like yours contribute to achieving sustainable development goals for in quality of education in practice? Your time.
Okay, thank you so much, Mr. Zian. Firstly, based on BPS statistic, it is attached BPS statistic Indonesia correctly that attached the data from 2024. It state the net enrollment rate for the lower secondary education varies widely from just 31.6% in Papua to 94.7% in Jakarta. We built community learning centers in remote area like a village, and also we provide scholarships and over teacher trainings. We also focus on education for girls and students with disabilities. For instance, we partner with local schools in Papua to launch a mentoring program for girls to reduce the dropout rates. The key to success in listening to local what the local needs and collaborating with local education authorities.
Okay, I think yeah, it's a really good one. But what challenges do you face as a non-governmental organization? What are the challenges?
Okay, for me, based on my own opinion, funding is a big one. Many of our projects rely on donations and grants. Also, sometimes it's really hard to coordinate with the local government if there's a lack of clarity in the policy. But we conduct a community support, so we always find the creative solutions to achieve the best.
Okay, so basically is on the funding, right? So you wish for someone to send you some donation and grants. Yeah, I think that's a real problem as a non-governmental organization. Yeah, I think so. That's the real problem. Uh, Thank you, Miss Nazifa and Mr. Iza. For the last one, how is technology is being used to address education gaps in Indonesia as a tech education?
Okay, so technology has a strong potential to reach underdeveloped areas. So we develop a lightweight learning apps that work offline and train teachers in digital skills. We also launched a radio-based education program for areas with no internet, and we are piloting a solar-powered tablets. But many students still lack devices and connectivity. So I believe that technical solution like this must be paired with a supportive policies.
Yeah, I think so. The technical solution must be paired with sporty policies. Yes, I think so. But what's your view on the balance between traditional and digital learning?
So I personally believe in blended learning. Like face-to-face interaction is still essential, especially for early grade students. But digital tools can help personalize learning, fill teacher gaps, and even offer resource in remote areas. So the goal here to is to support the teachers instead of replacing them.
So basically, what Anya say is the goal is to use technology to support, not replacing teachers. Yeah, I agree with that. Last one, Mr. Iza, I really want to know what are your other thoughts about economic challenges? Can you let us hear your thought?
Okay, so according to a study titled "The Impact of Poverty in Indonesia on Education, Economic Hardship, and Cultural Barriers," in many remote communities, families live in a financial hardship and cultural barriers, and children are often pulled out of school to work or help at home. So for these families, education can be as not as what it is. Like what I mean is, it is their second prioritized after their basic needs. And then while on the other hand, gender stereotypes and traditional roles are still also some kind of a problem, according to a study titled "Regional Gender Disparities in Indonesia: Comparative Analysis Across 5 Islands," and particularly in rural and conservative communities. In many areas, girls are expected to prioritize domestic responsibilities such as childcare, cooking, and even household chores over attending school. So this kind of like mindset is what I think that is need to be changed in order to in order for us to develop further quality education.
Okay, that's a really long explanation about that, Mr. Iza, but I understand all of it. Yeah, from all the panelists, I think you guys are amazing. But we kind of mix it right now. Bima, do you think tech-based learning has helped? Can you answer it, Bima?
Okay, let me see. It help, but not for all student have phone or internet. In my village, we sometimes don't even have electricity, so we can rely only on technology or what someone else for a student, like that.
Well, that is true, but we are working with providers to offer free access to educational apps, and like we also develop a solar power learning devices for off-grid areas. So I believe that by this we can address the problem you mentioned.
And also, lately I saw the learning centers also serve a technology access hubs for the students without their own device. It's really efficient. Many government in each cities of Indonesia run digital literacy sessions for both students and parents to help them use the tools effectively.
So the good news is the government will launch a digital access assistance program next year for underprivileged students. And of course, collaborating among all sectors is crucial for success.
Okay, I think thank you for all the panelists for your incredible insight, for your long explanation. It's been about 15 minutes right now. I think it is enough. But today we learned that making education alright requires cooperation from the government, communities, technology, and individuals. So to achieve sustainable development goals we need to build inclusive systems, support innovation, and ensure no one is left behind. So, education is a key to the future, but let's make sure every Indonesian child holds that key. I think that's all. Thank you for your participation, and that's all for our panel discussion.
Stop the recording, please.
Okay. Recordingnya udah stop.